Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about what I'm calling our stage 2 for this car. And in fact, I'm not even going to talk about everything for stage 2. We're just going to talk about weight reduction for stage 2, because in the stage 2 build, we're probably going to do some stuff to address horsepower and performance of the car, separate from weight. And I guess I should probably do a video on that. But let me tell you what we're thinking for the stage 2 weight reduction. So after the stage 1, like we said before, it's basically we're just going to cut a little bit of metal off where it makes sense to put the cage in, but that's about it. We're not going to go overboard because we're trying to hurry up and get the car running so we can race. So even if the car is heavy, at least it's racing. It's very slow sitting here, not without running. So that's going to be our stage 1. But stage 2, we are going to go ham and cheese on this thing. We are going to try to cut and remove every single thing that is not required to be here. So basically, every little piece, like here's an example. See all these seams? See these? I don't need that. That shit's gonna get cut, and I'll just weld the butt seam or something. Same thing right there, you know. Look at that weight. In fact, look at this whole thing right here. And I know what you're thinking. There's a fuel tank under there, but let me tell you what I'm thinking. There's a heavy and large fuel tank right there. So we are probably, for stage 2, we will very likely purchase or build a smaller gas tank that still fits in this spot, but it's smaller. So the tank will physically weigh less, it'll hold less fuel, and I can hopefully cut some of this metal out of here and save some more weight. Let's see, this whole back thing here that I built, we originally thought this would be a street car, so we built all this back here. We'll see. But that may either come out or get lightweighted or something, because that was some fairly thick steel when we put this in here. It's not super thick, but it is kind of heavy. So we'll see. Oh, another big one, the exhaust system. So I have mixed thoughts on this. I like how this looks and I like how it sounds. It's the best system I've ever built, so I'm not keen to just immediately take it off the car. But if we're being honest and we're trying to save weight, that's a heavy exhaust system. Dual exhaust. Looks good, and it's slowing me down. So purely for a race car, it would have been faster if I made this a single exhaust. So I can't ignore that. This is very likely going to change. Also, just as far as race cars go, this exhaust system, if it was like, you know, just as an example, I don't know that I'll do this, but let's pretend we had a hood exit exhaust. We can all just imagine a pretty turbo and a hood exit exhaust. Well, that would weigh like 2 pounds instead of probably what weighs 50 pounds. And it makes the car easier to service. If I need to do anything, like when you get under the car, right now you've got that exhaust system that goes by the transmission, and it goes underneath the diff, and it's all back here. So, you know, it takes up space, makes it harder to work on. Should we get rid of that, it'll be easier. And another cool thing is you'll be able to see the diff better. Right now that muffler just totally blocks that awesome Ford diff back there. So that's a big one. That's a big weight savings. Like I said, for stage 2, we're really planning to do a lot. There's going to be limits. There'll probably be a stage 3 down the road. So an example of stage 1, we're probably going to take like all these useless switches and, you know, the stuff on the steering column that we don't need will come off in stage 1. Like all these headlights, blinkers, ignition switch, all that junk's going to come off. Stage 2, I have no idea if any of those will change. But stage 3, I might actually put a whole new steering column in the car just to save weight, because this kind of looks heavy. I don't know if it is or not, but I bet it is. But let's see. Okay, here's something that I know I want to do in stage 2, and this is going to be a big one. The front of the car. So how involved this will be, I don't know. I would say stage 2 is probably going to be cutting the car somewhere in like either here or maybe even further back, just cutting some of the front of the car off and tubing it out. I just haven't got the car completely apart enough to know where that would happen, like how far back I would go. Probably for a stage 3, I would actually go to the firewall and just chop all of this off and tube out the front end of the car. But probably not for a stage 2. But what will probably be in the stage 2 is something to do with the subframe in the front. So since this is a drag car, I mean, it just seems like that subframe is overkill. Like, it's more than I need. I don't know what that means yet. I don't know if this is something where I'll build my own subframe or purchase one. when I looked at purchasing them, they only save, I think, like 8 pounds. It's not really, I mean, it saves something, but spending almost $1,000 to save 8 pounds, it's not, you know, why do that when I could spend like a month and $2,000 to save 10 pounds? Logic, right? So that's something. The motor mounts. This is actually the day I bought these and I saw how ridiculously heavy they were. I questioned even putting them on the car, but then I put them on and they've been working great. But those things are super beefy and made out of steel. So that's definitely something we're going to think about. I don't remember all the mounting bolts. I see 2 there and 1, and I guess there's at least 3 or maybe even 4 bolting that to the block. So I would say the easy button would probably be to just drill some. Actually, you can see there's a hole there. I guess they did that from the factory. But the easy button would probably be to drill some holes in it and save weight. The less easy button would be to fabricate our own mounts or try to go buy some that weigh less. Fabricating some comes to mind, but again, that's an area where we could probably save some weight, you know. And we may look into the other options to save weight too, as far as like how those mounts even attach to the subframe or whatever. So we'll look into that too. I've seen, everyone knows on V8 sometimes you see a plate going across the front of the motor, so we'll look into that too. There might be an even better way to do that. Moving right along, weight savings, and some of this will tie into performance, but intake manifold. So there's what, the upper half. I don't know where the rest of it is. That's interesting. It's not on the motor, maybe? Yeah, it's over here. So we have a flat top intake manifold, which is, that's like an upgrade. It used to be the hot thing to have on these. Maybe it still is, but this one's more valuable because it was expensive. I bought this when they were expensive. Nowadays, they're not so bad. But that's something that we're probably, I don't know what we're going to do yet, but I know we're going to do something, because once we get this motor, like part of our stage 2, I anticipate for stage 2, we're going to go to a bigger turbo. We'll do performance in another video, but we'll have cams in stage 1. If we're putting the cams in immediately. So we'll have turbo, we'll have this turbo with cams, max it out, and then stage 2, we're going to either purchase or very likely manufacture our own intake manifold. And definitely part of that is going to be to save weight. I forget the numbers, but these are way heavier than you would think they are. Like, they're just heavy duty construction. I mean, I don't know. So that's definitely something we're going to do, is custom intake manifold. Another one, I don't know if this will get in stage 2, this might be a stage 3, but that's going to be a new header for the turbo. Which actually that might be stage 2, because I want to run a new turbo, and I really hate to hack up this manifold when I could just sell it and it already works. So we'll probably build a new one. And if we do, I think we'll save weight. This was kind of thick. I'd like to try building something out of like 321 or something. Try to keep the weight down, but this isn't super heavy of a manifold. You can see there's like lightweighting cuts where they tried to save weight on the flange, and anyway, it's not horrible, but we are going to try to save a little weight there, but it probably won't be as much. Okay, I might jump back and forth on the engine, but another one is probably going to be the wheels and tires. So when I bought this, I actually have 6 of these wheels, and they're all new. I should probably think about this now, but my thought was maybe to sell some, or at least just buy some different ones for which I'm just drag racing now. But these wheels and tires have more weight and rotating inertia and drag than I need for drag racing. So I need to get some skinnies for the front. They'll save weight. It'll actually handle better, but it saves weight, saves rotating weight, cuts drag, cuts aerodynamic, like rolling resistance and aerodynamic drag. So all around beneficial. So that's definitely one that we got to do. And man, I'm kind of struggling to say what I want to do on the front, because a lot of this is really performance. Obviously, this is the engine, and for what I'm planning on my stage 2, I really want to get. We'll talk about that later, but I want to bump the performance up. Like I said, I think we'll be able to hit probably close to 600 to the wheels with our stage 1 setup. We're going to be looking to improve on that for stage 2. But yeah. The weight savings. Okay, I think we said we're already doing. Okay, so another one, the radiator and fans. For stage 1, I'm probably just going to like unbolt one of the fans, and probably that's it. Keep the radiator, keep the other fan. I'll probably leave that fan on, because that fan, maybe I'll move it over here. We'll see. I'd like the fan to be on this side because it blows the hot air off of all this stuff. this is the hot area. So I have to think about that. So maybe take that fan, which is lighter, move it to this side, and then leave that hole open. Maybe do something like that. We'll see. But go to one fan to save weight for stage 1. But for stage 2, all that crap's coming out. We're going to get like a Honda Civic radiator with a little baby fan on it, just for basically cooling the car off after a run. So that'll take, you know, water weight, fans, all kinds of stuff coming off right off the front of the car. So that's great. We talked about the exhaust. Probably going to do like a hood exit or side exit or something. It's going to be loud as hell, but again, that's a lot of weight, so that's pretty important. There's some other stuff, but I don't know if it's really going to get into stage 2. We'll see. But one example is the intercooler piping. So these pipes are thin wall steel, and to be honest, they're just kind of short and they're really not that heavy, but they could be lighter. So I'm guessing if you did aluminum intercooler pipes, you'd save like a pound, maybe 2 pounds. They can't be much. They're really not that heavy, but I'm sure it'll save something. Yeah, let's see. All right, I'm kind of running out of ideas. There's probably some other stuff that I'm just forgetting, but that's kind of the gist of it for the stage 2. I guess one thing I just popped in my head right after I said that was these hinges. We're gonna keep these for now. They're steel. They're obviously kind of heavy for, you know, for what it is. For stage 2, we'll probably make some new ones or drill holes in these or something. But that just kind of bugs me. Those are way heavier than they need to be. But yeah, I don't know how much further. Ooh, I guess I see one thing for stage 2. We could probably cut that corner out of the engine bay. I've already cut it over here quite a bit, but we could definitely do that on this side, save a little weight there. But yeah, we're going to be doing, probably like I said, about 20 different projects trying to save weight for the stage 2. So if you guys got any good ideas, or please let me know, because we're going to be getting serious about making this thing a race car. Anyway, till next time, y'all take it easy.